Hello. So we're on the week 7 of 18 training weeks to the nationwide children's marathon in Columbus, Ohio for 2016. I see, I don't even want to count what, so that makes 11 more weeks until the marathon actually takes place. And this week I think we separated everybody from the men from the boys. Um, the half marathon, fields and training is now over with. This week I had my 14 mile run. I always want to say mile an hour run, but my long run was my 14 miles this week. Last week was kind of a kick down 9. I really tried to enjoy that the prior week. I think the other video kind of touches on that. And I was more concerned that week of how I was going to get through this week. This week I did have some very interesting. It was a crazy week, and I was a little concerned because again, it's newer distances than I have done. It's been a year since I've done them, so that concerned me. So going forward, I also was traveling for work and worried about the food situation that I was gonna hit, especially flying around and eating crap, let's face it that way. And plus I'm a big feel I like to know that I can always eat some of the local flavor. And I've come to the conclusion that anywhere in America there's nothing locally healthy. Um like if you want any taste of the local food, it's pretty much crap. But it's always good to try. You can't go somewhere and not try it. I think that's kind of so I did a little bit of that while I was traveling for the during the week. The other big concern that I had was I had a 7 mile run during the week, and just when you're getting to a new location, you don't know where you can fit that in. At the hotel, do you really want to be taking up a hotel uh, treadmill for 7 whole miles when there might be other people coming in, or it just might be too weird. So I was able to kind of get that 7 mile in beforehand, and that went a little weird because on Monday I didn't quite do my rest day. I did do some weight training and whatnot, cross training that was a little bit more intense than it should be for a regular rest day, but I did only 9 miles the day before. I say that nonchalantly, whereas if I said that probably 2 months ago, it wouldn't be so nonchalantly. And then 24 hours out, not even 24 hours after that, I popped off 7 miles. So I didn't really get a rest day until Friday, so to speak, and then had to pop back on Saturday, um, and then Sunday today to do the 14 miles. 14 miles went fairly well. I did lately it's been the last few miles, especially after I've had to use the restroom, so to speak, that I lose a lot of intensity. And I'm kind of worried about that going forward. I know if I was doing a group training that'd be totally different. But I don't want to rely on the group training so much just to get me through because sometimes it's only going to have to be myself and I'm going to have to just enjoy the time that I have to myself. This is the only time that I can really get uninterrupted is, driving 15 miles out away from the house, away from everybody else, and running on a trail where the only people you really are going to see are other runners, cyclists, and so forth, people walking their dog. It's there for a purpose and it's more respected. So I quite enjoyed that factor. um, in the meantime, I kind of wanted to show everyone, okay, what I'm gonna eat because next week I have 15 miles coming up, and I'm a little concerned um, at how I'm gonna be able to keep the calories going in a good way. I noticed that I did struggle when I went up into the 16 to 20 mile long runs, and then into the more 40 mile weeks of just logging all those miles in. So what I've been doing since for about 3 years now, packing my own lunches and really tracking what I've been eating online, it really brings to light what you do and don't eat. So for every day for work, I basically eat the same thing. which has morphed into, my coworkers love this, but I eat myself a lovely kale and spinach salad, and usually I'll put on there, you can see, some avocado, some chicken breast, some lunch meatish, cucumbers, and then I will have snacks around for hummus, about a teaspoon of hummus, or excuse me, a tablespoon of hummus, and a cup of carrots, and then I will have um, uh, usually along with that a morning snack with my coffee. Usually I do put a little bit of creamer in there, a Greek yogurt. I've noticed that these do have a little bit more protein, and kind of holds me down a little bit more than I used to do the Yoplait stuff. Of course, I'm not that organic-y yet. Can't really um, get into the pros and cons of that yet. Um, I'll try to eat cleaner, but less processed eat. And if I can go organic, I'll go organic. Along with my morning snack of yogurt, I usually will do some blueberries and strawberries, a cup mix of these. I know I haven't even gotten to these yet. I've prepped everything else for my lunches and breakfast, so to speak, but I haven't gotten to cutting and sorting out the blueberries and strawberries. I also have to do that for the kids and whatnot too. So that's interesting. In the mornings, what I've noticed too, when I first started tracking what I was eating and actually eating breakfast, I'd at least start, okay, I was doing some cereal, some Special K or something, and I'd eat a bowl or two, and that would not hold me to save my life, even to whatever snack I could get. And it wasn't until, because I prefer my preference is more towards a morning workout just to get it in. Two bowls, even 2 bowls of Special K is not going to help you. It was when I finally put the protein in and did more of an omelet type of situation that things really helped out. But the other problem that I came into noticing when I started prepping my salads, instead of doing it just one every night before, I do 5 of these puppies every night. I also have my carrots, and then I will put these all in 5 containers and be ready to go. 5 or 6, depending on what the week's got in store for it. So I needed to find a way to do my breakfasts in the same fashion. And then it came down to me finding stuff online, as far as banana pancakes, things like that, where you can put protein powders, different flours. You can really make the pancakes anything you want, and still be very healthy. Really tailor it to what you want and need. So I have my pancake batter mix. This is just essentially 1 banana, 2 tablespoons of flaxseed meal, um, 1 whole egg. I'm missing something. Oh yes, a tablespoon of almond flour. I think that's about it. Yeah, that's probably about it. And you pop this on the griddle while I'm, putting everyone's lunches in their lunch bags. And then I'll probably put a little bit of coconut oil on there just to pretend like it's something special. I don't really like the agave syrup or anything on it. So that seems to help out. So that pretty much takes me through the majority of my meals up into dinner. Now, what I have noticed though, as the weeks, of course, get longer and those longer runs becoming about almost 7 to 10 mile a day midweek runs, I do need more calories than this. Essentially, it's until dinner. So what I'm probably going to be doing is kind of making a wrap of more of my salad stuff, and hummus uh, in there, making my own avocado hummus type deal. I do have fresh tomatoes and cucumbers, which, oh, my cucumbers were from my garden. And kind of putting that in, making that as I make the sandwiches for everybody else in the house at night, just to have that on hand and just to kind of pad my calories a little bit more, so I'm not um, to the whatever, whose ever desk has donuts on it, or the vending machine. There we go, or another shop. So that's basically kind of the gist of what I've got there. I sometimes branch out and do something different, but I'll do it slowly because I don't want to make 5 different things throughout the week. I already have to make dinner for a household. I already have to kind of make sure everyone gets somewhat of their preference for the meals. Nobody likes eating this every day for 5 days. I'm okay with it. I try to branch out more on, getting variety in my dinner situation. So, that's what's going on there. Usually, this time of year, we're grilling out like crazy. So, it's a lot of burgers, it's a lot of hot dogs, and sausage. And how I kind of did it differently from last year was my husband not liking chicken breasts. I'm starting to put the chicken breasts, separating out the sausage and the chicken breasts into two and two, so that two individuals can have chicken breasts and two can have the sausage. So um, it's not just we're all having one thing or another. And I don't have feel so bad about tailoring the meals to individual tastes and whatnot for the shorter to cook mentality. So that's pretty much what we'll be doing this week coming up. I have week 8 coming up. My midweek is going to run much like last midweek, except for I'm not traveling. So I can space things out a little bit differently. I do think that I have some sort of 5K next week. I didn't put it on my calendar. No, I did put it on my calendar. So I will probably have to switch around my midweeks to hit that 5K somewhere. See how my 5K has suffered in the heat. Of course, it's going to be at the worst opportunity. I think probably one of the worst times to run, just because we'll be smited and all of a sudden it'll be 100 degrees when we're going to run it, and not rain until the very end to give us any relief. So I do have that going on next week. I do have my 15 mile run next Sunday as well. So I'll let you know how this goes, where I had to pad my calories, so to speak, and see how that goes. I did notice that I did gain about 5 pounds on my excursions, but I've noticed I've lost like 2 of them. I think I'm just retaining. I haven't traveled a lot in the recent in any recent time, so my body is just getting back into that, going for work and doing something like that. Um, it'll be quite interesting next week, at least, to see what's going on there. So unfortunately, it's not going to be a straight, easy schedule. I'm still going to have to tailor some things to hit the fun things and see how I will do it this 5K, if I do it, if it happens. And the funniest story to actually happen after this 5K or this 14-mile run that I had today. I stretched afterwards. I stretched, was feeling okay. Got in the car and went home. My husband went to go run some errands, get a haircut, and I parked right behind him. And what I thought was, okay, he'll just take my car as I go take a shower and whatnot. I get down and I realize that he forgot something. So I'm texting him, oh, well, you managed to move my car so you could take your truck, but you didn't manage to make sure you got this stuff. So I'm running it. I'm just in a bad mood about this because I just showered. I wasn't ready, trying to get clothes on my child and out the door so we could just run and catch up with him to get him his stuff so he can finish running his errands. And I get in the car, and after about a mile, I feel it. And I'm realizing, I think my pants are wet. And of course they were, and I realized why my husband took the time to move my car and take his truck out. And that was because I had sweat all down through the fabric of my car. Of course, I have cloth seats, and now I know maybe what I should be looking for in the new car in the further future, if I decide to do this, is to definitely get leather seats, because I definitely soaked through my car. I totally need to put that on the checklist of things to pack in the morning, is a towel to put down because the poor man got in the car and couldn't even air it out fast enough to move the car out of his way so he could back out. So hopefully next week I'll be a little bit more prepared. I was very prepared, I thought, this week with the water and the supplements and the lubrication and making sure that I had everything that I needed to run, but just the safety and convenience of making sure that I'm not making my car so horribly smelly and disgusting, and not bringing a towel. I feel horrible now, especially after having to sit in my own spew after showering myself. Felt like I needed to shower afterwards. So anyway, 15-mile run next week. I'm hoping I do a little bit better. I'm hoping that I can do more of a negative split instead of my more positive split lately. I don't know what's going on with me. It's just after that one break, I'm done. So anyway, have a good week. I'll be talking to you next Sunday. Thank you.